Good evening and welcome to Newsbite. I'm Damien O'Bey and making the headlines this week. The island's new governor arrives. The Queen's 90th birthday is celebrated on the island, and your weekly sports roundup. The final governor to brave the waves arrived this week to fanfare, applause and sunshine after a troubled trip on the RMS. She had travelled with the ship to Tristan da Cunha but was unable to stay more than a few hours on the tiny island. On a splendid Monday morning, a day earlier than scheduled, Lisa Phillips stepped ashore to meet her new friends. August Graham says she looked nervous at times but soon seemed to fit into the role.
It had been a tricky journey from Cape Town for Lisa Phillips and her fellow passengers. Bad weather had cut a 3-day stay on Tristan da Cunha down to only 4 hours. Coming in on the gannet with the other passengers, the new governor stepped ashore, helped by Craig Yon and Robert Birdwell. She was greeted by Sean Burns, who has been filling the governor's chair since Mark Capes left. Then the short walk up the steps to meet the councillors, most of whom had lined up early in the morning to see her in. Walking and talking while taking in her new surroundings and throwing the odd glance up towards the impressive cliff faces, the island's first ever female governor made her way to the castle. Here she was picked up in a Jaguar and, surrounded by photographers, she joked that she felt like she was at her wedding. If that was her wedding, then this surely must have been the reception. A less sombre occasion full of pomp and circumstance. Lisa Phillips hadn't even got back into town when it started. The 7th day pathfinders led the way with the police in tow, the scouts setting the beat, and the guides joined the parade soon after. The police stood to attention as Ms. Phillips stepped out of the car. She walked onto the makeshift stage just outside the courthouse, standing for the national anthem and swearing an oath to the Queen.
I, Lisa Phillips, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. I, Lisa Phillips, do swear that I will well and truly serve Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors in the office of Governor, in accordance with the Constitution and other laws of St Helena Ascension and Tristan da Cunha, and with due regard to the customs of St Helena Ascension and Tristan da Cunha, so help me God.
In her speech later, she promised a bright future in which she would listen to the people of St Helena and make tourism work for everyone.
With this as a definite goal. But I guess that what will probably define my term is increased tourism. The airport is one element of that, and I'm committed to making that work. But I'm specifically committed to making tourism work for the benefit of all saints. Tourism is everyone's business, and it's in everyone's interest. I want to see a higher standard of living and increased wages as a result of tourism. And it's quite simple. I want the money that those tourists bring to end up in the pockets of saints. Now, I know we have to open up sensibly so as to protect St Helena's special beauty, but I believe I have a duty and responsibility to show the British public that the significant investment in the airport that they've made has been the right thing to do, and I hope you feel the same. And finally, I'd like to be known as a visible governor. I hope to see a lot of you, and I hope you will come to know me as someone who listens, who is willing to take action if she thinks it's the right thing to do, and who will help to explain the decisions taken. And I'm starting off by visiting the older generation at the CCC on Wednesday to get their thoughts, their hopes, their fears. And I did the same on Tristan and had a fascinating conversation with the older people there. I also look forward to welcoming you all to Plantation House and feel very privileged to live in such a beautiful house. So, in summing up, I feel the future looks bright. I promise I will do my very best in this role. I'm aware that for you, I'm just another name on a long list of governors. But for me, this is a unique and very special opportunity to make a positive difference, and I plan to seize it with both hands. Thank you.
The Queen's 90th birthday was celebrated in various ways on Thursday the 21st of April. Pulling Primary School made a 3-tier birthday cake from craft materials and celebrated with different activities throughout the day. Head teacher Elaine Benjamin told us more.
Okay, so today is a very special day. It's the Queen's 90th birthday, and we at Pulling School like to celebrate special events of this nature. So today our teachers behind here made a huge birthday cake, and we're doing lots of activities on the day based around the Queen's 90th. And one of the tasks the children were asked to do this morning was, if they were to meet the Queen, what would be one thing they would tell the Queen about? So we've got a group of children here this morning who are going to share some of their thoughts. So we're going to start with Amber.
If I could meet the Queen, I'd want to talk about her if it was easy or hard to rule all the Commonwealth countries.
If the Queen was to come to Ireland, I would ask her how many years does she have until she retires from her official duties. If the Queen was to come to Ireland, I would ask her how many shoes does she have and how often does she wear them. Who is her designer, if she'd be kind enough to let me appear. If I was the Queen, I would ask, is life easy to be the Queen? Would you like to retire being Queen? Do you love travelling the world? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Celebrations also took place at the Muiryard that evening. The event was organised by the Girl Guiding Association in association with the government. Here are some highlights from the night.
The program we have put together for you this evening has been done by the guide leaders and consists of highlights of our Wonder Superwoman's life.
In 90 years, so much has changed, machines and gadgets beyond our dreams. And in your life, you've seen them all. Things move so fast, so it seems. Through war and peace, grown to adults. Some things you learned unique to you. Your future life tied by these things, showing through in all you do. Family and friends now gather around to wish you happiness for today. You're loved and cherished by us all. Happy birthday in every way.
When life seems hard, the courageous don't lie down and accept defeat. Instead, they are all the more determined to struggle for a better future. I cannot lead you into battle. I don't give you laws or administer justice, but I can do something else. I can give you my heart and my devotion to these old islands and all the people of our brotherhood of nations.
Those were some of the Queen's famous quotes.
The beacon, produced for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, was lit by Honourable Speaker Eric Benjamin, and Mrs. Marina Burns lit the candles and cut the cake. Balloons were popped by members of the Guides and brownies, one for each decade of Queen Elizabeth's life. There was a closing prayer and an inspirational reading from Lieutenant Carol Young, and a final blessing was made by Father Dale Bowers. In sports this weekend, Sandy Bay Pirates dumped Jamestown Barracudas out of the knockout competition, and St Matthews Lions brushed aside the challenge of Half Tree Hollow Dolphins. But first, golf. The condition of Longwood Golf Course is slowly improving after the appointment of Nick Stevens as course manager a few weeks ago, making for some very good scores being returned in weekly competitions. In Sunday's monthly middle, Gerald Whistler George shot a net 1 under par round of 67 to take first place honours in a field of 24 players. Snapping at his heels in second place, just one shot further back, was Brian Bully J. Fowler, who shot a net round of 68. Back to cricket. Sandy Bay Pirates pulled off an impressive run chase in Sunday morning's match to dump Jamestown Barracudas out of the competition. Andrew Young struck 71 to lead Barracudas to 217 from 25 overs. Pirates were not fazed by the imposing total, and a knock of 72 from Barry Stroud and an unbeaten 67 from Ian Williams, who carried his bat for the entire innings, ensured Pirates reached the required target with 2 balls to spare. The second match in the preliminary rounds was contested by Lions and Dolphins. Lions batted first and reached an incredible 281 for 5 in 25 overs. There were contributions of 42 from Nicky Stevens and 40 from Michael Bedwell, but Scott Crowey's quick-fire 55 was the highest score. Simon Scipio and Caelan Crowey produced unbeaten cameos at the back end of Lions' innings as well. In reply, Dolphins were bowled for less than 100. Their star batsman David Young notched up 17 runs, but Alex Langham scooped 3 wickets for 30 runs as Dolphins were bowled for 85. Well, that's it for another Newsbite. Do tune in again next week for more top stories. I'm Damien O'Bey, and thank you for watching.